Do you really understand who you really are? I know they have this big thing called imposter syndrome, where everyone's like, oh man, I feel like I'm faking who I am. And it's like, you are whatever you think you are. I know that sounds like really easy, but people have a lack of identity because they don't think about themselves enough. They don't put enough time and effort into their own personal lives and put so much time and effort into other people's lives that when they say they don't know who they are, it's just because they haven't spent enough time with themselves. So, I mean, I really press people to if you have quote unquote an identity crisis, just be alone for a minute. Just be alone for a minute. See what you do but when you're by yourself and alone, and that is what you love to do. If you're by yourself and alone and you start reading, I'd go write a book. If you're by yourself and alone and you start singing, I go record an album. If you're by yourself and alone and all you can think about is cooking or whatever you lean towards when you are all by yourself and alone, I would lean into that even when you're not. And that's something I really can appreciate from some of the great people that I look towards, is that whatever they do and love, they do all the time, effortlessly, all the time. Like, I'll take basketball for instance, man. Sometimes there'll be a video of Steph Curry just playing around effortlessly and still making amazing shots that people really trying hard to make it. You know, different little soccer moves that Messi will do, or just tennis moves that Serena might do, or Coco Jones might do. Just the things that are really expertly hard, the expert make easy, because that's what they love to do to their core. So even when they're by themselves all alone at home, they're practicing on those things to where when they get in front of a bunch of people, it's not like they're relearning some new talent, or they have to brush up. Man, when it comes to songwriting, can't nobody touch me. Sorry, I honestly feel like that. And so that's why I plan on putting some music out, because I've been going through somewhat of an identity crisis. And when I got alone, I found myself always writing, singing. When I get alone, I don't take photos. So I'm going to lean more into what I do and the basis of my core being. So I'm going to put out a couple of songs fairly soon. I got some money coming. I'm gonna catch in the studio, and yeah, man, I'm gonna get it rolling and get it popping. Now, one thing I do, I don't take photos, but I do come up with movie ideas when I'm all alone. All the time. So that's another thing that I do, and I can really incorporate the both of them. I've already got a song cleared by a big time artist to be in one of the movies. That's something I did on the low, didn't really let nobody know about. And since I already got it cleared, he's independent, I can use it, and I'm planning on using it in my first short. I'm not gonna give away what it's about, but I think it's gonna be something that it's gonna have a political play, and hopefully if I can get out in time, I can use it for people to really gauge themselves against. And I think that's really big for movies, to have something to where you can gauge your own life towards. Because if it's not self-reflection, people aren't going to be attached to it. People want to see themselves in a movie, even if the character doesn't necessarily look like them. They want to mirror in the situations that they're in, and then also be able to take the message of that movie and apply it to their own lives in a positive way. So people love Forrest Gump because a lot of us aren't the smartest and don't make amazing decisions, but he was a person to be able to take any situation that was in, stay kind and polite and humble in the situation, and he turned that on top at the end. And so I think that's why a lot of people like that movie and many other movies, is because not just because that person, the character is relatable in what they actually look like, but they're relatable in the fact that man, you can, I know what it is like to be picked last during gym class, and I got the funny leg and nobody want to pick me. I know what that feels like. I know the feeling of being in a job and you feel inadequate, but at the same time you're actually one of the best people out there. So I just pulled in. Peace.